Welcome back to another Spandex Standups. We're still getting the kinks out from our remote sessions, but we're getting there. Things are improving. I know a lot of people are down on Survivor Series. I personally enjoyed it. I thought it was fantastic. So we got a lot to talk about. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It's a Spandex Standups. What's up, buddy? How you doing?
What's up, dude?
How did you feel? We got to go ahead and talk about it. What were your thoughts on WarGames?
Thoughts? I mean, it was standard PLE. Had a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Felt like it was well rounded. Um, you know. So yeah, I mean, no complaints over here.
I thought it was fantastic. I know we're in an age where they got to surprise us and wow us, nonstop. But we got Liv returning. We got a fantastic Cena Dom match. I thought the WarGames matches were entertaining. Now we got a fun, to tune in every week with the masked, hooded individual. So I thought we checked all the boxes for a good PLE.
Yeah, I don't know why people are so mad.
I think that's just the status quo, man. I think it's just let's be mad and we'll deal with it later. What do you think about the news coming out though that Miss Vaquer was a little upset with Nikki during some of those moves?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. Nikki, she's not a really active wrestler. She's a legend coming back, kind of doing her old tricks. So, yeah, I mean, it was definitely the worst match on the card. It was very boring.
Yeah.
It didn't get much of a reaction out of anybody,
No. But I guess when the other three, you had the two standard WarGames, and then I thought the match of the night was Cena and Dom. So I guess it didn't really stand a chance to shine,
No.
All right, well, we got so much more to talk about. Let's get into some news up top real quick. Chris Jericho allegedly has been offered his retirement tour contract. How do you feel about that? That they can't even, if they wanted to, they couldn't keep that a secret.
Yeah, I mean, he's probably the masked man.
That's interesting.
They're probably
Jericho being the masked guy.
Yeah, I mean, you probably just can't debut yet, but they wanted to plant that seed, and that's how you do it.
That would be interesting, because everyone's yelling Theory out there. Don't get mad at me. That's just what the internet's saying. Theory and everything. That'd be funny if they had Theory play the masked guy, and then they're going to have a different superstar actually be the masked individual. That's interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that they're going to build up all of this hype and suspense for Austin Theory.
I wholeheartedly agree with you, because, I mean, my thing was... they've been comparing bodies, sizes to the person. I would love if this was how we got singles Montez Ford.
Yeah. Montez didn't. The guy was too small to be Montez, though, I think, right?
Yeah. I mean, you just got to think like someone a little bit tallish, a little bit, slender manish, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Congrats to Pat McAfee and his wife on expecting their second child. And announced it on social media.
Heck yeah. Is he still a commentator?
Nah. I think he's just doing the football thing. I don't even know if he'll be back after football, to be honest with you. I think the travel schedule is poof. And now he's got 2 kids. Yeah, he ain't going to want to do that. How you feel about Stephanie McMahon co-hosting John Cena's final match?
Yeah, it feels weird. Yeah, it feels a little weird, honestly. Especially after they went to the Garden and, Shane McMahon was there and they didn't show him any love or attention, felt a little weird. So
that's interesting for sure.
Feels a little selective in the McMahons that were celebrating and kind of letting come back into the business,
Yeah, wholeheartedly. But yeah, out of all the old heads, Stephanie and who I'd be like, I'm just now watching 2014, Authority versus John Cena. So, I mean, there's definitely history there, but it's not good history.
Right. Yeah, it just feels a little random.
Yeah, it's during the Stephanie McMahon versus Brie Bella hired the physical therapist to cheat on Daniel Bryan type storyline that was just god awful.
Yeah.
I was going to say that up top when we were talking about WarGames. I'm going back and watching 2013, 2014 when, the general consensus was it was a bad product. And,
yeah.
I mean, I just watched a banger of a match between Dean Ambrose and Bray Wyatt, so at Survivor Series. Or is it SummerSlam? No, it was Survivor Series. But just, I mean, it might have been bad, but the roster was fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. And the storylines, I don't think are as bad as we remember them to be. So I think we like to sit in the moment and criticize something and say it's not great when we go back and watch it and we're like, well, we didn't have it that bad.
Yeah, I think there was just a time where like WWE was in its NXT era where the main roster was just all pretty young people, and they just weren't able to carry the full weight of the product at that point.
Right. They had gold on their hands when they first split up the Shield, so it's weird to see now going back and watching it, how it all played out. Hey, we got guests.
We got a little guest here.
She's like, y'all talking wrestling? Let's talk wrestling. TNA got a TV deal. TNA is going to be on AMC in 2026.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Thursday nights, 9 Eastern to 11.
Oh, that's pretty huge for them.
Yeah. They said it's not going to affect the NXT agreement at all either, so that's nice.
You said it's AMC?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Which what are channels anymore? You know what I mean? Like Court TV. Yeah, I miss when TV channels were actually what they were called,
I know, right? American Movie Classic. Now we're putting wrestling on there.
Wrestling. I miss old Spike TV too, man. I could see TNA, but it was on Spike TV. All right, man. How did you feel about the finals the semifinals of the last time is now tournament? The finals are now set. Your boy's still in it. That was a great win over Jay last night. I did not know if they were going to go that direction. So hyped. They had LA Knight take out Jay Uso. And we got a banger of a match, I thought, between Gunther and Solo. And Gunther coming out on top.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't know why you would move forward with Gunther in this whole thing. It just doesn't make sense. I mean, there is a certain level of Washington, D.C. to Gunther to where, it would make sense for that to be like John Cena's final opponent in Washington, D.C. But LA Knight is the guy who needs it. I think LA Knight is the guy who a win over John Cena just does so much more for him. I still think it's not a very exciting last match for John Cena. So you have to make it exciting for at least somebody. And that somebody is LA Knight.
I agree with you. I think especially they've just kind of let him fall to the wayside. Like you said, you sold me on it last week where he needs a thing. He needs his he doesn't have a Money in the Bank. He doesn't have a Royal Rumble. He doesn't have a defining moment. He needs that thing. And like you said, retiring John Cena is kind of a pretty big thing. Whether we agree with how they did this tournament and how everything played out or not, the end of the day, if you are that person in the ring for John Cena's match, it's going to mean something.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, I just don't know how you make it a big deal with Gunther.
No, I wholeheartedly agree with you because, I mean, it's just not interesting. Like you said, you got a chance to give LA Knight a massive shot in the arm. We don't need Gunther doesn't need this.
Right.
Let Gunther lose a fantastic match against LA Knight and then go to the main event scene. So,
right.
How'd you feel about Tala Tonga being the one that kind of cost Solo that match? Like Not that group's way too early to cause some distractions and problems yet, but it was interesting. That's the route they went.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, that was a really good match. I was surprised by how good that match was.
Yeah. So I think that
Um,
was one of the best solo matches that he's had since being caught up.
yeah, absolutely. Very physical. A lot of chops.
Yeah. So many
Um,
chops.
yeah,
God, they're both of their chest. I don't know how
that
Gunther,
was
because Gunther gets it back just as much as he puts in when he gets chopped.
No, that was definitely like my most enjoyable solo match, I think. At
For
least
sure.
what single 101.
And then on the LA Knight side of it, you had LA Knight defeating Jey Uso in a great match, between those two. And then you had Jey Uso absolutely lose it after the match. Like, it was building up. It was, just below surface level. And then as he snaps, he leaves and says, you know what? Roman was right. The belts do look better on his shoulders. How you feel about that?
Yeah, I mean, he's really in his head. He's lost all his confidence. We went from, this year we've seen everything from Jey Uso, from winning the Royal Rumble to winning the world title at Mania to now not believing in himself. So it's a crazy arc. Those types of feelings will totally lead you to attack and retaliate on that person. So, does this set up a Jey Uso, heel run? Would love to see it.
Wholeheartedly agree. And I would love for it to be at the cost of Roman Reigns. I'd love for him to snap on his family. Like, y'all, he's like, I was just fine being in a tag team with my brother, and all y'all just got in my head and told me I needed to be things. This is y'all's fault.
I mean, Jimmy and Jay at WrestleMania 40 was the only disappointing match on that card. Maybe they decided to run that back. But now with Jimmy as a babyface, Jay as a heel, and maybe this is where you put Big Jim over.
Big Jim. Hey.
You know?
Or, I would just want them to be a tag team again, man, to be honest with you. I think the Usos as a tag team is how I want them to finish out whatever years they got left in WWE.
Mm-hmm.
But can you just transition Jay back into a tag team after all you've done with him?
Right. Fair point.
Well, it seemed to be the main theme of last night was Liv is back, and it is the Judgment Day's time to be back on top of Monday Night Raw. Interesting layer at the end of we'll get into the main event here in just a second, but you didn't see the tension that you automatically assumed you were going to see between Roxanne and Liv.
No, not immediately. I think it's definitely coming. There's definitely that moment where Roxanne was holding the title and was like, oh, do I need to give this back to Liv?
She did. She did the right thing. She paid homage. And then Liv was like, no. Because I think Liv wants to win the women's title and then have those two as the tag champs.
Mm-hmm.
Do we get that before Judgment Day falls apart? Do we give them all the title again before we tear them back down?
I think we do. I think that's how you rebuild Liv.
That was I thoroughly enjoyed her stare down with Stephanie Vaquer last night.
Yeah.
I think those two can put on a banger of a match. I think Liv can get a little bit more out of Stephanie Vaquer than Nikki Bella did.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm hoping that's the direction they go. I just love she was Liv through and through. She's like, hi, I just wanted to let you know I'm back. I wanted to say hey. Yeah. Mm-hmm. The immediate injection of confidence into the Judgment Day was refreshing last night. It didn't cause chaos. It caused, all right, they might be all right. Because we all know that their times, they're on borrowed time. You can't keep the Judgment Day. Look at that. It says established 2022. Factions don't last 4 years.
Right.
So it's who
Crazy
gets
that they've lasted 4 years.
Right. I mean, you think what they started with Damian Priest, Edge, and Rhea, and none of them are in it anymore. They've come and gone like poor Carlito, poor just the different iterations of it. And now they're the biggest numbers they've ever been, I feel like. You got 3 ladies, 3 dudes. But seeing just Finn's face and reaction through that whole roller coaster of Liv coming back and declaring Judgment Days on top of the world again, and then slapping Dom in the face and then jump it up. It's just it's insane. And she did her best Myrtle Beach impersonation last night, and I thoroughly enjoyed every bit of it.
Mhm.
All right, we got to talk about the Vision. It looks like Logan Paul is going to be a permanent member with the crew, and it looks like he's got his sights set on not only Rey Mysterio but Rey's son and the IC title. And then you got just announced Bron Breakker gets his shot at the championship, the heavyweight championship, first Raw of the new year. So all things are looking up for the Vision. We still got, the masked man lingering. Kind of glad they didn't go straight for the reveal last night. Let's leave it up in the air a little bit. Let's see how this plays out.
Yeah, how do you see Bron Breakker versus CM Punk ending or going? What do you think they're setting up for there?
I truly don't know, man. To be honest with you, I've been trying to think because I don't think they pulled the trigger on Braun yet on a Raw. You know what I mean? Like, you don't let his first championship be on Monday Night Raw. I don't think. I mean, it is the 1 year anniversary of on Netflix, so that has me wavering just a little bit. But I feel like CM Punk just got the belt. I don't think he's going to lose it in his first title defense. But I do think this is going to set up Braun for a great 2026 run. I just have it figured out in my head how it's going to play out. How do you see the match going?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to say. I mean, this could be where, the Vision starts to self-destruct. Maybe the Masked Man returns again to interfere. Yeah, I don't see the Punk being the title being taken off of Punk though. Not so soon.
How slow do you think they're going to burn this Masked Man thing?
Yeah, I don't know. I thought we were going to find out who he was on Raw. That's what they kept
I
advertising.
did too. So yeah, that was a weird. Pierce sending the refs in to find out if they know anything or anyone's talking. That's
Yeah.
what they gave us. So I don't
Mm.
know. I don't know, man. But I mean, they got to do something because just straight up having Austin Theory strut out there and pull his mask off. That's not people aren't going to be happy about that.
No, they aren't.
So,
But
I don't know how
January,
they're going to play this.
that first Raw, if there is anybody who can't perform on television for WWE till 2026, that would be their first opportunity to debut. It'd be a big
Interessante.
opportunity to debut.
I think that would be fantastic. Because I mean, that's old school wrestling 101. If you put someone under a mask, they can be anybody. So everyone being like, Jericho's too old to climb over that cage. He doesn't have to be. All he has to be is the one that they end up revealing as the person.
Yep.
So I don't know how they're going to play this out. So I don't know. I'm along for the ride.
I'm along for it. Yeah, totally.
Really enjoyed the focus on the women's tag team division last night. You got the main event was what we've been wanting for a long time: Charlotte Flair and Rhea Ripley in the same ring at the same time against each other. Poor Alexa and Io were along for the ride. Great tag match, great main event, everything. Rhea and Charlotte, when they got in there, they started throwing some blows, and I thoroughly enjoyed it and hope that's for a sign of things to come for them. You had a nice segment between Bayley and Lyra and Asuka interrupting them. You had the Judgment Day ladies standing tall. Nice to see the focus on the women's tag match or the women's tag division kind of taking over all.
Yeah, it was great. Great main event.
I definitely want to see way more of Charlotte and Rhea. Way more. I want them at WrestleMania now.
Yeah. For the third time.
Yeah, dude. They gotta end that. How do you see this? The Kabuki Warriors are the champs. I'd like to see the Judgment Day get the titles. I'd love to see how this Bayley Lyra thing plays out because I don't think they're going to be a team for too long. I think this is just a vehicle to get them feuding again.
Totally. Yeah. I see the Judgment Day taking the titles back very soon.
I think that'd be great. I mean, anybody can cost them. If you want If you want EO and Rhea to have a little feud with them, they can cost them the titles. You can go a bunch of different. You set yourself up for so many different directions right here, and I thoroughly enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, man. Before we get out of here, wrap up our after Survivor Series. Real quick, we got the Spandex coming up in a couple weeks. We're gonna wait for the dust to settle from John Cena's last match. We're going to come up with a bunch of great categories. Let us know if you want to see a category in the year-end awards, but those will be coming up in a couple weeks. So look out for the 2025 Spandex.
Go ahead and watch last year's Spandex. It was a good episode.
Great episode. Some might say got a lot of attention, so go check it out. But real quick, if you could write it your way, how would you have this masked man situation pan out to set them up for success entering 2026?
Ooh, great question. I think that I would have. Ooh, yeah. I think you have to wait for the reveal until January, the Raw 1 year anniversary. I think you wait till then. You wait till that Bron Breakker match, and the masked person interferes in the match, costing Bron Breakker the match. So then Bron Breakker wants the masked man.
Interesting. Okay. All right. Who do you want it to be? Who do you want the masked man to be?
Ooh, I do want it to be Chris Jericho.
Okay.
What about you?
I mean, I'm trying to temper my expectations because I don't think it's going to be a cool payoff, but I would like for it to be Randy Orton. I've thought about this a lot. Nice way to get Randy back in. But then it doesn't make sense with him. Like, because you got to think he attacked CM Punk. Or he helped the Vision. Like, those are your two options going forward to explain this thing, right? No one really makes sense. No one really makes sense to feud against CM Punk. And then no one really makes sense to be, like, helping the Vision, you know?
Right.
So, I to be honest with you, I'm putting my hands up in the air like we're on a roller coaster. And I'm letting Triple H guide me on this one because I truly have no. If you were like, here, write this out how you want it to play out, I don't know. Outside of giving a fresh young person a shot, I don't know how you finish this.
Right.
Either way, I'm excited about it. I wish it would be like Carmelo Hayes. I think that would be dope.
That would be dope.
The main event scene.
Mm-hmm.
Montez Ford, we haven't seen him in a long time. This might be a nice way to call Javon Evans up. I think he was way too small to be Javon Evans. He would have done something way cooler off the top rope or the top of the cage if it was Javon Evans.
Mm-hmm.
So I truly don't know because if do you honestly think they could make it a fun way for this to be Austin Theory? I've tried to wrap my head around it all day. And how could they present this to where we would all collectively be like, all right, we're cool with that? Because I don't see a way.
Me neither.
So I think they're going to, if this ends up being Austin Theory, I think this is a fumble. And I don't like saying that.
Yeah, big time.
All right, man. Well, thanks for joining me on this weekly roundup. Any parting thoughts or anything?
No, thank you. Looking forward to seeing who ends up being John Cena's final match. I hope that this match on SmackDown is good to build up for the Saturday night's main event.
You got me hyped about LA Knight, man. I'm pulling for LA Knight now. You sold me last week on it.
How can you not?
Come on. How can you not pull for the guy? He's had a crap year.
Yeah.
And he's still over as ever. People still pop for him.
I think it's a good call.
You let LA Knight win and figure it out after that.
Yep, exactly.
Well, all right, guys. Thank y'all so much. Make sure you check out Evan Burke Comedy. Check out Drew Harrison Comedy. You got a fun show coming up in New York, man. Where's that at?
Yeah, Saturday, December 20th, the Second City in Brooklyn, New York.
Yeah.
Check it out.
Let's go. All right, guys. Thank y'all so much. make sure you hit that subscribe button. Check out all our great content. Drew Loves Wrestling just came out, so go check that out this week. All right. So a lot of fun content coming out. Let us know those categories for Spandex End of the Year Awards. We'll see you next time.